This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
Hello, welcome to the Commission on Disability meeting. It's October 10th at 11:03 a.m. And who do we have online?
I see Jeff Brown on here with some other folks in the group as well. You do a roll call of attendance. Have everybody get recorded if you'd like.
Hi Jeff, who do we have with you?
Well, Bryce is over there, kind of off to the side, off camera. You can say hi.
Hi.
Hi Bryce.
Hi, Bryce.
And I also have Kara,
Hi.
Tatiana, and David here with me.
Hi, good to see you. So Angelique is gonna join us online, but a little later. So I'm running the meeting today. And we do not have a quorum yet, so I guess we'll skip approving the minutes. Is anyone here for public speak? That's where a member of the public can come in and address their concerns to the commission. Okay, no one's here for public speak. We were going to have a speaker, Robin from Easthampton Community Center, but she canceled, so we will not have her this month. Let's see. Accessibility ordinance update. With Councilor Gomez, but Councilor Gomez is not here, so we don't have that update. Let's see. Current events update with Stan Diamond. Stan Diamond's not here. This is going to be a very disappointing.
Wow, I know.
For you. Sorry.
I have some things to add when you're done.
Oh, okay, sure. Why don't you? What do you have?
Well, I was just wondering if anybody went to the meeting Tuesday or Monday at the Council on Aging, and they had two meetings in this building on the for the people of Easthampton to figure out what they would like to have for services and to make it a great city to live in for elders. And so we had quite a long discussion Monday when I went, and a lot of stuff that we're involved with came up in the meetings, like accessibility, especially not only accessibility to different things to get around town, but the accessibility to get medical care, because we have such a shortage of practitioners in the area. So,
Hello.
so those were all areas that we had long discussions about. So I just wanted to see if anybody else participated.
Sorry, who's talking? I can't tell.
Oh, Louise is here.
I don't know. Yes.
I was at the CE meeting yesterday evening, and there was somebody who talked, and I can't remember his name, but Lindsay's not there apparently.
So-
I was asking who is talking? I cannot tell.
They're both talking together.
Hi.
Bruce was talking.
Sorry, go on.
That was the nuts and bolts of part of the meeting. So there's a lot of concern in town, and so we may hear more from people that were.
I'll just say it because I was there. And
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, one of them, we might have been at different ones, but I was remote, so wouldn't have seen you.
Which were you at the Monday one, or were you at the Tuesday one?
Tuesday afternoon.
So
Were you?
what did you think about the meeting and the questions that were asked?
They only went so far. But I've had very disappointing experiences with the senior center. So I would say, what concerns me most is that recently, most of the time I'm talking to them, trying to, and now they're tired of hearing from me. And what goes through my head is this will help in 20 years. This will change in 20 years anyway, but not now. And I think I just want to interject that awareness because there's people here, all of us, who need help now, who could welcome that change now.
Mhm.
And I mean, I'm the third person. Maybe I just listen. Anyway, okay. Maybe that's just how I console myself. I think these changes, especially for transportation, are coming. But like, I would caution people not to expect a commitment from the senior center that's strong enough. Well, I always think when I'm there in my lifetime because I'm already old, but I probably made my point.
Well, the thing that, because I work in long-term care a lot, the thing about us old people is that we're the survivors and we have the strongest gene pool.
Right.
Okay. And people tend not to recognize that. So my thought is, and this election period is probably a great example, is the more we speak out, the more it gets done sooner.
Eli, one of the things I've been asking for there is, I think that's true. One of the things I've been asking for there is more of an awareness of racism. It impacts me. And they just don't understand what I'm talking about. So you'll understand that in that way. And the director is not interested.
Who have you been asking about that?
Senior centered
Oh, I see.
involved. So
Yeah,
it
that's
sort of worried me when I've just been personally through a so kind of personal emotional thing of like, give up, be sensible, give up. This is, you're talking the wrong language. To think that, oh, well, at least my kids in 20 years, but it'll be better. I mean, it's bound to change. And I think this Easthampton is changing in that way. And that was,
That's what the racism was about. The racism, what is the racism about? I'm new, sorry.
I think Eli and I shared some experiences in the past that we would know. Basically, a lot of people, it's change that needs to happen. They sort of toe the line, but they don't understand it and they won't do the work and they don't want to do the work of making any difference now. And Easthampton is changing, so that's clearly going to change demographically and all the rest. Kind of, if you, I'm just talking about I could talk more later. Sorry, I'm trying to pass on simply a warning because we're interested in improvements now in accessibility. And how many times has Omar canceled on us?
I don't know. It's been a number of times.
Yeah. So it's just sort of a warning, and I'll shut up because I'm missing.
Okay. But yeah, speaking of I'll go back to the accessibility ordinance because we have new people. I should at least just tell you what that is. So we asked the ordinance committee to, to propose to make an ordinance that would basically, guarantee for city events that there would be, an easy way to find out what accessibility features would be at the events.
Okay.
And to have a contact person so that people can at least find out whether an event is accessible to them or not.
Yeah, and I do a lot of that with when I
Yeah.
use that. And I use it all the time. Yeah, I always have to call ahead. So that would be a nice thing to have.
Yeah. All right. Let's see.
Can I interrupt again? I'd be happy, and I don't remember your name yet, but the woman who asked that question, I'd be happy to talk to you offline afterwards.
Okay, I just,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty racist, a pretty big thing. So just wanted to see.
Well, even being old is racist.
Oh, yeah, I mean, we're definitely in being disabled and, you know, this age group, your age group, my age group, I'm on the cusp, we're the biggest part of the population right now, you know, the baby boomers. So,
Well, in Easthampton, it's 41%.
wow, that's a huge impact.
Yeah.
That could have a huge
And
impact.
the over 80 in the next 5 or 7 years, whatever the numbers were on
Demographics, yeah.
the slide, the over 80 will double in that length of time.
Wow.
So it's amazing. So I'm gonna stick around for the 20 years, you know. I'm just thinking how I can aggravate. See, that's the deal, right?
Hello? So I have a question. So I feel like people are using racism right here as a catch basin for ableism, for age discrimination and stuff. Is that what I'm understanding? That term is kind of been usage. Okay. That was confusing before when people were saying racism because
Well, that's part of it.
yeah, I know. And there's lots of ways people are discriminated against in lots of different categories. I think when I hear the term racism, I think of specifically, you know, a certain type of discrimination for a certain category, and it was a little confusing.
Just to clarify that, because I have to, what I said before, having been involved in both or having been impacted by it.
Yeah.
Racism oh God, it also means people who pay lip service.
Okay.
The analogy would be people who are following ADA, but if you're asking for anything that's not, you know, if they're genuinely interested.
Okay. So I usually
Yeah.
I usually understand that term to be ableism, not racism. So that confused me.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
so I guess I was confused too.
Yeah. Okay.
That's with racism. If you're of Asian, Caucasian, or African American, I thought that dealt with that.
Yeah. Okay.
As discrimination's different if you're age discrimination or disability discriminated.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now I understand the previous comments.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Good correction.
Okay. Let's see. Recruiting. Does anyone have any recruiting news other than our new member, Bonnie? I guess there was a woman, Leslie, not you, Leslie, but another Leslie who was going to join, but I guess she, for some reason, she couldn't join. And we do still need a clerk, and me and Angelique have been officers for a long time. And I don't know. I don't know about Angelique, but I personally would like someone to replace me. And we do have, let's see, we do have 4 open seats, on the commission.
How do you usually recruit?
Um,
Word of mouth.
yeah, social media. Okay, let's see. Oh, go ahead.
Just had 2 failures. Somebody who's interested that from social media that I only knew that way is relevant, but disabilities, well, I don't want to talk about people individually, and I told Angelique, but disabilities have gotten in the way.
Yeah, that has been an issue.
Yeah, and somebody else that I'm about to ask is, our time is going to, I'm probably not telling the rest of you the same thing new, but I'm new to trying. Or I don't know if she'll be able to manage even remotely working hours. So she's probably going to fail on that ground. But I tried.
Okay, well, thank you.
Sorry, Eli, I think that was not necessary.
What wasn't necessary?
My
Oh.
wasn't contributing anything. I'm new to this.
All right, that's okay. Let's see. World Disability Day events. Yeah, so we're asking if anyone had any ideas for ways that we could honor World Disability Day, which is December 3rd.
I'm feeling that it's probably too late to plan an event at this point, right? Because it's getting quite close. But maybe we could do something virtual, which would require like less planning and maybe be more accessible for people. If it's not like an event per se, so Angelique was talking about maybe doing some sort of like dance performance or some sort of performance to mark World Disability Day. But I think as we're already in October, it probably isn't feasible to pull something together like that at this time.
That's your point.
So maybe something virtual might be the direction to be thinking, like something that people could participate in online.
How have other places celebrated it? I mean, is there any benchmarking that can be done to understand like how is it celebrated in other places? I didn't even know there was a World Disability Day, so this is new to me.
Yeah, I'm also relatively new on this board, so I don't know what's happened in the past. But that would definitely be something worth looking into. I'm happy to look into that.
Yeah, I can do some research too.
Yeah.
Because I think virtual's nice, but I think just getting it out there somewhere in the public, maybe a flag out in the middle of the pond, I don't know, something to celebrate it.
Yeah.
You
In the past, we have done some basic social media posts, or we have encouraged the town of Easthampton to do some basic social media posts to celebrate various awareness days. It's because in the past our social media presence was kind of filtered through through the town of Easthampton. Our ability to make those posts was a little bit limited. I think now that the commission has its own Facebook page, maybe Angelique could do something like that because she kind of runs it. Just keeping in mind that subscribership is pretty low on our Facebook page. So I don't,
you don't have a lot of followers, you're not gonna have much reach.
I don't, I mean, I don't, there has, the response on our Facebook page, from what I hear, hasn't been resounding for any of our posts. But I wonder what other commissions have done for World Disability Day.
Yeah, so I'm definitely happy to look into that. And I'd also be more than happy to look into maybe how we could expand our Facebook audience. That
Yeah,
is something that is part of my work duties at work, so I'm pretty familiar with Facebook. And I'd be happy to also take a look at that and see how we could maybe get more followers and build up a community in that way.
yeah, population, because it can go viral quick if you
Yeah.
do it right.
And that can help with the recruiting thing too.
Yeah, and it's, free.
Right.
So,
For now.
yeah,
I didn't even know we had that, so.
I didn't either, but it's
I didn't either. So, yeah.
Okay, so that tells the story right there.
Yeah, so I'd be happy to look into those two things.
Okay. Let's see what else.
future speakers.
Future speaker ideas. Do you guys have any ideas for future speakers?
I have one from the meeting that we had Monday and Tuesday. The woman that came from UMass, who's a PhD, and I don't have her card on me, but she came from out east to talk. And whether we do it virtually with her or have her in person, she brought a lot to the table in these meetings. So,
What did you talk about?
well, she's the one that led the meetings.
Okay.
And she had a short slide set, but just that she's working statewide
Okay.
with all the issues that we have and all the proposals, especially what that lady was talking about, the future, which is now. She's like a whole other plateau than we are, and has all kinds of resource possibilities and ideas. And I think it would be tremendous for us to talk to her, because so much of what came up in the meetings was stuff
You're
that-
challenged by,
was
yeah.
stuff that we're sort of working on, and we should be working on more. And having, instead of being invisible in social media, to be quite visible in social media would be a huge contribution. So
And what does she do for UMass?
she's I forget the name of the group that she's working with, but they're doing this statewide on trying to figure out what's going to make a center such as the town of Easthampton, city of Easthampton, or a small town or whatever, more amenable to people aging in place, and for services, for lifestyle, for support, all kinds of spokes in the wheel, so to speak.
Okay, you don't know where her position is, or?
I don't, I took her card out of my pocket, put it on my desk, because we're going to get together.
Okay.
So, I mean, I just wrote a whole page and a half on things that struck me on what could be done.
All right, well, great. If you find that card, if you could email the
Yes, 'cause-
info to Angelique,
okay.
that'll be good.
Because she and I talked after the meeting, and we're going to get together.
Oh, okay, you've already talked to her about it. Okay, great.
What kind of speakers do you like? I mean, it can kind of give me an idea of, like, if I run into what kind of speakers, just stuff that affects people who are disabled, or more global umbrella, higher up.
Yeah, we've had a lot of speakers from, who we had, yeah, I don't know, anyone, really anyone who might, right, who Yeah, so we've had, people who do like sporting events for disabled people. We've had, people who represent, different government agencies. And this,
I know there's a travel companies that do like inclusive travel. Is that kind of a,
yeah, I think that'll be right.
okay, I'm just trying to get an idea.
Jeff, were you gonna say something?
Yeah, it's just anything that, any organization that provides a service that might benefit, the disabled community, just to educate ourselves so that we can inform others that might approach us looking for resources. The constraints are that, we would like someone that's able to do like about a 10-minute presentation. That's
Okay.
Right.
that's the kind of framework we'd want. We wouldn't, people tend to go over, and that's great, but I think the idea is to be able to do a little bit of that and then also be able to do whatever meeting business we have to do. Am I?
Yeah, that's helpful.
Yeah, thank you.
Eli, is that accurate?
No, that's good. Thank you, Jeff. All right, let's see. New business. Does anyone have any new business for the commission?
I'll do the record coming up.
What was that?
About a no plow, I mean, are they gonna be doing the plow out of roads? What do you call it, the plowing?
The snow plow,
Yeah.
snow,
I don't know what to call it.
David, are you asking about the snow ordinance and stuff?
Yes.
Okay, so the snow ordinance, another project we're doing is the trying to get a PSA about the snow ordinance, and that's kind of perpetually something that's being updated. So David's kind of referencing that as something that we talk about frequently, I think. But I don't think there are any updates.
We made a PSA a few years ago. Who's that?
Angelique.
Okay,
It's a PSA.
a public service announcement.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, so, hi Angelique.
Hi.
So we made a PSA a few years ago about kind of reminding people about the city ordinance about how you're required to clear snow off of your, walkways and stuff. And we were hoping we could update it. So that's what David, I think, was referring to. All right, and I felt like I had something to mention, but I can't think of it. I can't think of it right now. Okay, so in that case, let's go back to approving the minutes, because we do have a quorum now. Is everybody good with approving the minutes from the September meeting? Okay. And so that's done. So Angelique, we pretty much finished with the agenda. Did you have anything to say?
No, just that the Easthampton Community Center will have to come next week. She said something about that she could deliver the food to people that are disabled, so they don't have to leave their house, but she'll have to come next time. Does anybody have anything else they want to talk about or bring up for this time or next meeting?
What's the, food
Yeah.
something? A food, what do you call that?
Food bank.
Food bank?
Do center.
Yeah, are they volunteering, the help of volunteering or like that, or?
Oh, they might. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe if she comes next month, we can ask her.
That's a great idea. I was actually thinking the same thing. Yeah, we should ask. them, and they wouldn't know. Yeah, they wouldn't know that, but Robin, who's gonna speak here, would know, so.
Okay,
Yeah, good question.
I will do that.
Okay, well, if there's nothing else, is Dylan, I can see Dylan's pants. Is it? Is there anything that you want to announce?
No updates from planning. It's been pretty quiet since the last two meetings,
Okay.
last meeting.
Okay,
I guess this month is short then, that we're missing a speaker. And Eli and I have a meeting on the 16th with the city councilors to talk about the accessibility ordinance, so.
that's right. Yes, we do. Okay, and our next meeting, can you look up when 14th is is November 14th?
Yeah.
Okay,
All right, thank you everyone for coming.
so I guess we'll adjourn the meeting then.
Yep.
At 11:34.
Okay. All right.
Thank you everyone for coming.
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.